Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
All right, I was talking about HG Thrash Clothier Company, and that is Howard Thrash, and Jeremy's there too, and they kind of team up. There's two locations now, one in Kingsgate, the new one, where the old Anderson Jewelers used to be, and this is absolutely a beautiful store, and they have different things. Howard kind of, moves things around so that you've got different selections at different stores, but 2010 Broadway, still the home office and the main location. The finest men's store you'll find anywhere is HG Thrash Clothier Company. All right, Greg Lowrance is here, and Gary left. I don't know why. I like this Texas Tech shirt. Where'd you tell me you got it at HG Thrash? That'd be or a quarter four. Hey, quarter four, Cardinals. Did you hear the new name?
No.
That's the new name for Cardinals. Nothing's changed except for the name. And because they had an agreement, 5 to 6 years, they would drop the Cardinals and pick up a new name. And their new name is Quarter Four.
I hadn't heard that.
Well, now, see, yeah, I had Brad White, who owns it, on the show last week, and he, that's their new name. And they're one of the sponsors of a Hall of Honor banquet. Greg Lowrance is going into the Lubbock ISD Athletic Hall of Honor. He is the first athletic trainer that we have inducted into the Hall of Honor, and rightfully so, because he is legendary. Did you know you were legendary?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, you are.
Maybe for all the wrong reasons.
No, for all the right reasons. I can't even tell you the impact, Greg, that you've had in all these years. 43 years with Lubbock ISD.
Yes, sir.
That's unbelievable.
Enjoyed every moment of it.
Yeah, and you started where was your first job? At Lubbock High? Was it
Lubbock High School?
You were the head trainer or the assistant trainer?
Head trainer at Lubbock High for 1 year.
1 year.
Yeah.
Got everybody fixed, and then you moved on.
Well, when do they move it downtown to one area? I guess everybody always had their own trainer, and then they had if you were really
Hutch.
Everybody always had their own trainer, and but they had the trainer at Hutch that took care of all the junior high injuries at that time.
Oh, okay.
And,
Central Training Room.
Yes.
That's what you called it, right?
I don't know if you remember that little building on the north side of Hutchinson Junior High. And then when I went over there, they made it kind of a coordinator position, and we saw tons of kids over there.
Oh,
high school kids would come over there for treatment, right?
No, they'd still go to their high school trainer.
But they would never come down there to see you?
No, they went to their high school trainer, and but we saw the junior high.
All the junior
kids.
high.
Yes.
You call them junior highs.
Yes.
They changed it to middle school now.
Changed it to middle school several years later.
All right. Now, this doesn't really have anything to do with what we're really talking about, but junior high, 7th through 9th. Middle school, 6th through 8th.
Yes.
Which is better?
For sports, probably the middle school concept, because you get the kids up there in high school.
Get them in 9th grade. Like most districts around the state have been for years. Lubbock was behind as far as having 9th graders in high school.
Yes.
And most of them have had that all the way through, but we were middle school.
I always liked the junior high deal better just because kids were a little older when they got over there.
Exactly.
The bigger kids.
Yes.
But you're right, and there are upon occasion 9th graders that.
What's amazing to me is there are 9th graders that can compete nowadays. Aaliyah Chavez is a great example. Yeah. As a 9th grader, she's like the best player in the district.
Yeah.
You're like, how's that possible?
And they finally made the arrangement where you could do that, but you had to get a ride over to the high school.
You're right. They changed it, but slowly. They didn't just do it.
They had a few years in there where if you're in the 9th grade, you could go over and do it.
Yeah.
But it was sort of
very
rare. Very rare.
Well, Greg, it's I know you're excited. Many of the trainers that have worked for Lubbock ISD through the years, Greg hired. You hired a bunch of them.
Yes, sir. And most of them are still here.
Yeah.
And all the head trainers at the high schools I hired, except for the trainer at Monterey, and he was after I had retired. And
All the others you hired.
well, Bob Ramos was already here when I got here.
Yep.
He graduated from the University of Oklahoma and was already here at Dunbar, and then later moved to Estacado.
Yep. We called him Prof.
Yes.
I have no idea why, but it's what we did.
He's been at it a while, man.
A long time.
Long time.
Yeah.
And then
You get this about Prof. This is Bob Ramos. This is what he did. So he's the head trainer at Estacado, and J.J. Woods is his good friend. And, you know, they were dear friends, and J.J. Wood was the head basketball coach. Well, when J.J. retired and got out, Prof renamed the court J.J. Wood Court all by himself. He just renamed it. Now they didn't stick, but he just I just renamed the
What,
court.
did he have JJ come back and sign his name on it?
Yeah. JJ, of course, is deceased now, but that's what kind of got Prof this. That's what it ought to be. Anyway, so he was here at Coronado back in the day when Louis Gravel was there.
Louis Gravel, and Louis was the trainer at Andrews when I was a kid.
Oh,
And he's the first time I ever saw a trainer.
was Louis Gravel?
Yes. And then he left to come to Lubbock,
Yeah.
and so I never worked for him. But he's the first time I ever saw somebody, and I thought, what is that?
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
And he was the trainer when I was coaching at Coronado, and then of course Bob Rawls at Monterey was there prior to
That was
me.
our guy.
Yes.
He was our guy.
Yeah.
He's deceased now, but
Yes.
you know, and Doc Morris was it? Now was Doc Morris at Lubbock High, or did he come after you? He came after you.
He came after me, and I hired him. It was very hard to find trainers back then, and so Richard Morris and Dennis Pruce,
Yeah.
I hired from the University of Arizona graduate program. I couldn't find any trainers in Texas, and so they're both from the University of Arizona graduate program.
I didn't know that about Coach Bruce.
I consider Bruce a friend, and I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he was a Texas Tech guy.
I did too.
And then later on, it became easier. And so Anthony Peppers was a Tech graduate.
How long has he been at Lubbock High now?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. They'll
Doc
have to
Peppers.
blast him out of there.
Forever.
Yeah.
He's been there.
He's been there a long time.
Well, it's kind of an important deal. It really is. And, of course, when I went to Tech, and Gary and I were coaches, and, you know, you take some classes about athletic training. You learn how to tape ankles and sort of. And you can't have little creases in it or you'll get a blister, right? Isn't that right? But those good trainers that could tape an ankle, Gary, if you watch them, you just go, this is like artwork.
And it doesn't take long.
No, it's unbelievable.
How long
C-strips.
could you tape? How long would it take you to tape an ankle?
Oh, I don't know.
If it's a competition, 30 seconds.
Probably a minute.
Okay.
C-strips and figure eights. And see, I still remember some of that stuff.
You see how important a trainer is to a coach when you're out there at practice, you know, and the trainer's walking around, and all of a sudden you hear the tone of voice in a coach when he's hollering, trainer.
Yeah.
You got one down that's hurt, and that coach is scared to death. He needs you, and he needs you now.
Yeah.
And,
Well, all right. Speaking of that, what's the worst injury that they said trainer, and you had to run out there and you go, ooh, that foot's facing the wrong
Doctor.
Trainer Heck Crawford.
well, I mean, a fracture when you.
Oh,
the bone
compound
is-
fracture.
Yeah, and it's at a 90-degree angle, or a kid is totally knocked
Yeah,
out.
but you got to go out there, and that kid's looking at your face, and you can't go out there and go, ooh, oh my gosh.
No, you got to be. You're going to be okay. You're going to be okay.
Yeah, you're going to be. I'm
You're
going
gonna
into
be
Monterey's gym, the new box, and I'm going. It's not new anymore, but it's still called the new box.
Yeah.
So I'm going to summer league games or something. I'm going in there, and the ambulance is pulled up there by the door, and they got so I'm going to go in that door right there on the side, on the north side, and they roll out the deal right when I walk up there, and this kid's laying on that gurney or whatever they call it, and he's looking at his foot and his ankle. It is turned completely 90 degrees, and he's looking at it, and he's going, that's not supposed to be that. Yeah. It was sick looking, and you've seen some of those.
Oh yeah.
Just broke completely over.
Oh, many.
How do you fix that?
You take them to the doctor.
You don't tape it?
Tell them don't look.
No. You just keep them comfortable as you can and reassure them. And
you're going to be fine.
You say, you're probably going to be okay.
You'll probably walk again someday.
You might walk again.
Well, and most of those kids end up going back and competing again.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that in injured athletes is that that's improved so much is the ability to get kids back to play and and not putting them at risk.
And training in the weight rooms and those help too, I guess.
Absolutely. When I was a student trainer at Tech, we had a universal gym.
Yeah.
That was our strength program. And you look at what we do now and the things that we do to improve kids' strength and
our universal gym was in that mat room next to the mat room under Jones Stadium.
Yeah,
that's where it was.
Yeah,
and that's all we had.
And it was a universal gym.
And we had a few free weights in there, but nobody wanted to do those because you had to hook them up.
You might get hurt.
Yeah, it might fall off. But it's so different today than it used to be.
Absolutely.
So how long were you at Tech as far as a student trainer? And
well, I started out. I got a scholarship to LCU.
Yeah, that's right.
And I worked for Larry Hayes.
Oh, that's great.
And John Copeland and I were in the same class as freshmen at Lubbock High. I mean at LCU. And but Texas passed a law that you had to get a license to be a trainer. So I had to transfer to Tech where I could work under a trainer.
Oh, because you were like the trainer for
I
LCU.
was the one at LCU.
Was it Ken Murray?
No, it was a guy named Bob Bissell.
Okay, I remember Bissell too.
Yeah.
And actually it was Don Sparks.
Okay, I don't remember Don.
Was the trainer.
What year would this be?
69.
Okay.
And then after 1 year, then Bob Bissell came with Jim Carlin.
Yeah.
And then I worked for him 2 years.
Did he leave with Carlin when Carlin left?
Yes, I believe so.
And that might have been when Ken came in.
Ken Murray.
Yes.
Everybody loves Ken Murray.
Yeah.
They really do.
Well, you remember telling about that UT graduate that was the official, Winky?
Yeah.
Most of his stories were Spike and Ken Murray.
Is that right?
He loved Ken Murray. So
anyway,
most trainers are lovable.
Yeah, you got to have a soft heart. You can't be mean. Jim Juvenile. Did you know Jim Juvenile?
I did.
When he was at Tech, and he was mean, sort of. I think he was crazy.
He was a basketball trainer.
Yeah, he was,
yeah.
and it was.
Was he a suck it up kind of guy?
No, he was hard nosed. He was.
Yeah,
tough.
He was pretty gruff.
He really was.
Yeah.
He had me out run. I turned my ankle. That's the first time I ever turned my ankles at Tech, and he had me up and running on it. It just a little bit.
Suck it up.
Yeah, kind of that deal. It hurt, and then it swelled up on me more.
He wasn't here very long.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. Jim Juvenile.
But did you ever have some kids? And I'm not. Your story didn't make me think of this. That you just go, come on now. They're sort of a wuss. They need to suck it up a little.
Oh yeah.
What are you doing back in the training room? Get back out there.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, how'd you handle that?
Lots of encouragement and hinting that maybe this isn't for them. And,
hinting that's not for them. Maybe you need to do dancing or something.
I mean, if you're going to do this,
there's nothing wrong with dancing.
If you're going to do this, you're going to get bumps and bruises. That's the way it is.
Yeah. Were you there when Greg Lowrance was playing basketball at Tech?
Yeah.
Dr. Hess?
Yeah.
Yeah. They used to give shots and stuff to help you. So did you ever do? Is that legal?
No,
it was then.
It was then.
No, trainers don't do that.
Okay. You have to have a doctor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Well,
good answer.
That's a good answer. What if they really needed a shot though and the doctor wasn't there?
The doctor wasn't there.
Coach Myers says,
"What if it's a really big game?"
Coach Myers says, "We gotta have him. Give him a shot."
Puts a little pressure on you.
that would, wouldn't it? And Kerry Wimberly. Now, Kerry Wimberly's turned training into a sports rehab.
Yes, and Kerry worked for me too.
Yeah.
And then he and I were partners in a physical therapy clinic.
Yeah, that's right. And I don't believe about Radar. Oh my gosh, he was at Lubbock High.
Yeah,
he's retired now.
Yeah.
Oh my, that's so.
Yeah, I hired Radar and tried to get him to be a trainer for me when he was at Hutch, and he wouldn't do it. And and then when he went to Lubbock High, Richard Morris
got him to come. Yeah, that's when I was there. He started. I was at Lubbock High when Radar started.
Yeah,
and it's amazing. I think that it says something a lot about trainers, because really, Gary, once they start, they seem like they're trainers for life. I mean, you hang in there.
Well, it's there's not a whole lot of us, and it's a pretty close group.
Yeah, another great group. Here's from Greg Lowrance, 3 exclamation marks. Great trainer and man. 3 exclamation marks.
Wow.
Congratulations on a well-deserved award, and I'm going to give you a clue as to who this is. First 9th grade student athlete, male or female, to get to work out with varsity was Erica Vallect from McKenzie Junior High. Do you remember Erica?
I remember her.
Did she get hurt?
Probably not.
Probably not. She's too tough. This is from Lynn Haley.
Oh, okay.
Lynn Haley. She thinks highly of you.
Well, I paid her.
Yeah. All right, send this, Lynn, while I'm on the show. She texts me every now and then.
Oh, I appreciate that.
That's cool. And
I met thousands of kids, and in my situation when I was at the.
You may have to hang on to this story because we're about to go to a break in about 30 seconds. Is it a 30-second? No, it's 25.
I can get it in.
All right.
Is at the Central Training Room. Their parents had to bring them over there because they were junior high and middle school kids. So I got to meet their parents, and I really enjoyed that. Made a lot of friends.
Good. All right, Greg Lowrance is here. We'll be back with more
Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Hey, do y'all want to have a great car buying experience?
And I'm going to have one real soon.
McGavick Nissan, you talk about a wonderful place to go and shop for. These people are awesome. Of course, we knew they were, but I've been spending quite a bit of time there here lately. I'm telling you, it is first-class operation, and the greatest people that work there, and they are busy. They are selling cars, and they got great deals going on, that summertime deal that's going on right now. And Brent McGavick, and
Let's take Brent to lunch this week and talk cars.
You're going to be too late for me. I'm already going to have one.
Lunch with him?
No, the car, I think. And my pickup quit working.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Well, they'll do that after once they become sort of
ancient. Yeah, and I think I'm fixing to get something new, right there, and it's going to be. I'm excited. It really is.
Did you ever have an old car that you sort of wish you still had? I had a Cutlass Supreme.
Yeah, Cutlass Supreme was a big car back then.
I really wished
I had a Hurst Olds, and
that looked a lot like a Cutlass Supreme.
Yeah, it did.
But it's sort of souped up.
It was okay. It had those T-tops, and that was before they really knew what they were doing. I think making them. But I wouldn't want that car back. It was heavy. Wouldn't go that fast.
Do we have somebody on the phone?
You need to go fast. Yeah, we got Ken Perkins on the phone.
Oh, shoot, that's great.
Go to McGavick Nissan. And by the way, as Ken comes on the phone here, I got to mention, and I can't believe I didn't bring up, Shelly Macias. He hired her, and now she's like in his old job. She's like the head trainer where he used to be. And she does a great job. She was at Coronado. All right, Ken Perkins is on the phone here from Houston. Are you still in Houston?
Sir. Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Ken. Thank you for being on today. I tried to get him on last week, but you were gone somewhere last week, weren't you?
Yes, sir. I was in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Yeah, that's a pretty place.
It is really.
On vacation.
What do you do?
A little cooler than Houston.
Yeah. What do you do in Colorado Springs for vacation?
Well, you do a lot of hiking.
Oh.
And we played some golf and hung out at the pool at the VRBO, so it was good.
Well, I thought you'd lost David completely when you said hiking, but then you threw in golf and the pool. So
I was wondering what in the world did you do that for?
What's he talking about? Yeah.
Hey, Ken is a Coronado High School graduate,
Yep.
and he is the first group that went all 3 years. You know, when they opened in 1965, I guess you were a sophomore, Ken, and you
Correct.
were the first graduating class that went all the way through all 3 years at Coronado High School.
Yes, sir.
And it was Gary Kirksey in your group.
Kirksey was at another junior high school. Yeah, he was. I'm sorry, he was in our Coronado group. Yes, I'm sorry.
He was quarterback.
Gary was a quarterback all 3 years, his sophomore, junior, and senior year at Coronado.
Oh, well, he'd have been a good one. How about Danny Johnston? Was he a sophomore when you were a senior?
Correct. Yes,
Okay.
he came in, and he got to play quite a bit that last year because we had a pretty good season, and were able to get ahead and let some of the younger guys play. So it was good.
Okay. All right, well, Danny's one of our
Danny's a
lunch
good
bunch
friend.
friends.
Yeah, he's a good friend. Jerry Austin.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to tell you this. Jerry Austin, to this day, is one of the toughest running
He
backs
still
I ever had
is.
the opportunity to play against, and for sure to watch.
Yeah, you're going in. He's already in the Hall of Honor, and you're going in. That says a lot about how good you are if you're going in with him, because he was the kind of guy that would wait on people to catch up so he could run over them.
No, he would break the line of scrimmage and look for people to run over.
Look for little DBs like you, right?
Yeah, kind of small defensive back at 160 pounds, and he would make mincemeat. I'm telling you.
Well, by tough, do you mean on the field, or did he like beat up the hippies over in at the hidey ho?
He was, when he stepped on across that sideline, he was all business.
Yeah.
And like I say, he's one of the best, toughest tailbacks I've ever watched or had the privilege of playing with. So
His dad was bus driver over at Monterey, and his dad was actually for Monterey instead of Coronado.
yeah, he drove a baseball bus, and
Yeah.
so we got to get a lot of rides with Jerry's dad for sure.
Yeah.
All right, you just mentioned baseball. Obviously, you're going in for your great football career, but how was your baseball career?
Well, baseball was really, really fun. I had the opportunity, even as a sophomore. I split time with a fellow by the name of Otis Beecham at first base, and got to play quite a bit that sophomore year. And then my junior, senior years, I started all those years at first base.
Or is that when the field was there at the school?
Yeah, it was at the school.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
a home run would go onto the track?
Well, actually, we played our home baseball games out at McKenzie Park.
Yeah, Connie Mack. Connie Mack.
Yeah.
That's right.
But Coach Dudley, he had that. You know, he had that red picket fence out there at Coronado. He played home games there.
Yeah, played some home games there later.
They didn't play any actual home games at the high school. That was after I left.
Yeah, it was after you left, and they had some games there. They did go out to Connie Mack still, but it's so changed, and I'm so glad. O'Banion Field's really a great venue now. But
Yeah. What those guys have done in Lubbock is pretty amazing with all the high school stuff.
yeah, it's
Really,
really
very good.
really good. You would have thought we didn't know any better back then. We thought this is fine what we got. We didn't know any better.
Yeah. Well, I still have, I won't say good memories, but we had a all-season program there at Coronado for the football. It would get underneath the track stadium, and Coach Wilshire had them put mats, and so we'd get under the track stadium in the spring in the heat and do wrestling and all kinds of other drills.
Wayne Wilshire.
We affectionately called it Vietnam.
Vietnam.
Yeah, it's not something anyone looked forward to. Trust me.
Vietnam. Well, I mentioned Kirksey because I knew that y'all went to school together. And Gary, you might not have known this, but it's in the program because I helped to write this. Okay. Ken and teammate Gary Kirksey became the first two Mustangs to receive a football scholarship to a Division I school. That's pretty cool, Ken. And you went to Texas Tech.
Well, it was. Of course, I grew up watching Texas Tech games, and going down on the sidelines with my good friend and classmate, Dr. Robert King.
Oh, yeah.
At the time, his dad, JT, was the coach when I was in junior high. And so we would go to the couple of games a year. I'd get to go down and stand on the sidelines and watch my heroes like Donnie Anderson, and those guys play. Pretty special.
Oh, it's really special. Yeah. Really special. And you know, back in those days, Tech was really different too. If you go out there, I don't know whether you've seen the new stuff that's happening out at Tech, and it will blow you away. I mean, you can't even imagine that we're doing this kind of stuff.
People haven't seen it. I was out there in April with my brother Bruce, who also played at Tech as a walk-on. We went out for that Jeff Styles Letterman tournament back in April. And, the guys at the Letterman's Association invited us over to the stadium one morning, and we got to see, everything. The stadium, the expansion of all the seats, the boxes, the training facilities. I've seen a few stadiums in this country, and it's right up there with all of them. I guarantee you.
Yeah, well, it's even better now with the south end zone finishing up.
It's going to be phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. You know, you think back in Tech basketball, you used to play in the Dairy Barn.
Yeah.
In Tech football, we didn't have anything. You know, when we got AstroTurf, we thought that was the coolest thing when we got AstroTurf. Had that little red track around.
1970, we got the turf that summer before that season, and opened the season with Tulane. And it was kind of funny because if you remember, that was after the May 11th tornado.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we knocked down a couple of the light standards, but they got that turf in, and it was a big change for
scraped all the skin off of you, didn't it? Where they painted it.
Yeah, the paint was tough.
Oh.
No, it was fun. I liked it because I at least mentally, I thought it made me a lot quicker.
Oh, it did. You look how fast I am now. Watch this. Well, those are great. Who was the quarterback on the teams when you played?
At Tech?
Yeah.
The first year it was Joe Madlich.
Yeah, Joe Madlich. Yeah, we remember. Yeah, we remember it.
When JT was there, and then when Carlin came in, Charlie Napper out of Dallas.
Charlie Napper. Yeah.
And then that next year, Tech recruited the two top quarterbacks in the state of Texas, Joe Barnes and Jimmy Carmine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so got to play with both of those guys.
Hey, Carlin could recruit. What was it about old Carlin that
he could recruit?
Was special?
I don't know. It just he had just had a way of talking to the potential players and the families, and he was just Coach Carlin was an interesting character. He I always like to think of him more as a CEO type guy.
Yeah.
And then he would let his offensive and defensive coordinators, do the day-to-day, play-to-play type stuff. But Coach Carlin, one thing about him, he always was the coach of the kicking game.
Ah.
I don't know if you knew he was a punter at Georgia Tech.
He didn't look like a punter when he was here. I would have guessed punter. Here's the deal about Ken, and a lot of people. We're visiting with Ken Perkins. He's going to the Lubbock ISD Athletic Hall of Honor this coming Saturday from Coronado High School, football player. He also played baseball, but he's going in for football. Ken when he went to Tech and played on the Picadors. Back then, you couldn't play on the varsity. Freshman couldn't play. He was a two-way starter, split-ended defensive back.
Oh, wow.
He could both, and then when he went to the varsity, he ended up concentrating more on the defensive back. In fact, he played on some of the great defensive backfields in Tech history, and he was a big part of that. But he was a punt returner.
That's what I was thinking, that he was a punt returner.
Tell everybody the feeling of waiting for the punt to come down while you're standing back there, Ken. That's got to be one of the scariest jobs in football.
Well, it's the way that one of the assistant coaches put it to me, and I'd never returned punts in high school, and so I get back there that sophomore year. He's just going to remember three things. Number one, catch the ball. Number two, make some kind of move, and then three, get to the blocking wall, get to the wall, get to the outside. And at that first time I went out there, this is my sophomore year, it was pretty unnerving. Obviously not doing it before. And I said, please don't let me drop the ball. That's all I was thinking.
Was that a job that you volunteered for, or is that a job they made you? Perkins, get back there. Were you expendable?
It was kind of yeah. Well, that first year, my sophomore year, I was backing up a guy that turned out to be a pretty good player, Denton Fox.
Oh my gosh!
At Texas Tech, and so later in the year, I actually got to start a few games, and they moved Fox over to safety, and so that first time out there was a punt return. It was exciting, and actually I enjoyed it. A lot of people say they don't really like it, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, it's just, you just don't know where they are because you got to watch the ball.
Yeah.
All you do is hear them.
Oh yeah. And you had fair catches back then, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
Well, that's me.
I don't remember making that many.
As soon as that ball hits that punter's foot, my hand's going up.
Fair catch.
My arms up. No.
Did you ever take one back all the way?
No, sir. On the punt side, I came pretty close a couple of times. Once against Baylor, my sophomore year, I stepped out of bounds on about the 10, and once against TCU at Fort Worth, my sophomore year. Again, if I'd had one more step or one more move, I probably would have taken it in.
Did you do it your senior year?
Actually, senior year, the coaches made the decision to go to a two safety.
Oh.
And Mark Dove, my fellow cornerback on the other side, was the call. I was the call man, and he was the return man. So I'd keep an eye out on everybody and try to get that first block so he could get loose.
Did you wear number 26 at Texas Tech your whole career?
Yes, sir.
I got a great picture. It's going to be in the program. You're going to love the program.
What number was Curtis?
Yeah,
I can't remember what number Curtis Jordan was.
I don't know if Curtis was 24.
I think he was 20-something.
26 in the NFL, I think.
Yeah, 26 in the NFL.
He was in the mid-20s,
You were number 16. Were you number 16 at Coronado?
Yes, sir.
And you wore glasses?
Oh, I did. Yeah, unfortunately.
We got the picture of you right here.
Yeah, I look really good in those black bulletproof glasses, man.
Bulletproof. Clark Kent. They were Superman glasses.
Clark Kent, yes, sir.
Well, did you wear them in the halls of Coronado, or did just for athletics?
Well, actually, I wore glasses my whole high school career till my senior year. I finally got contacts.
Okay.
Well,
and
Ken,
when I was
I'm telling you, we're so proud of you. He was first team All-Southwest Conference defensive back.
That's big.
And honorable mention All-American.
That's great.
That is something else, Ken. You've had a great career. We look forward to having you here this coming Saturday.
Hey, I appreciate it, guys, and I truly have been blessed in my
you have been.
Career.
We look forward to seeing you. I'll send you an email just to remind you of a few things here today or tomorrow.
Okay, and I appreciate you guys.
Ken, you're so welcome. It's our honor to be able to honor you, I can tell you.
And we'll see you guys next week.
You bet. Proud of you.
Thank you, Ken.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Ken Perkins, Coronado High School, going into the Lubbock ISD Athletic Hall of Honor on July the 27th, next Saturday night at
Looking
the Civic
forward to
Center.
that.
Yep, going to be a lot of fun. We'll be right back.
Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
J&W Services, Lenco Distributors in Midland, Texas. Brent Beck, Scott Blakely, Cade Walton, Red Raiders all. They're just But they take care of everybody. If it has to do with the wellhead, this is the name to know. In fact, I can't think of something probably in the oil and gas business that they can't help you with at J&W Services and Lindco Distributors. And what a team to have on your team. So give them a call and let them show you what they can do, because they would love to help you at J&W Services and Lindco Distributors in Midland, Texas. And don't forget about Mighty Wash down in the Permian Basin. It's a big deal down there. You got to wash your vehicle all the time, so you need to get you that plan with Mighty Wash, that monthly plan. You'll be glad that you have it. They'll do you a great job at Mighty Wash. All righty. We're going to have Greg Sands on.
Yeah, we're going to call him right this minute. We're going to have him on. And
Good.
I wanted him to Zoom, but he's in the Players Lounge at the British Open.
That's where I was there last week. That's nice. That's really nice.
There's got to be some stories just on that.
I know.
So,
well,
anyway, but he's not going to be able to Zoom is what I'm saying. But, hopefully he can hear us in there. Greg, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
You gotcha.
Hey, thanks so much for doing this, because I know you got you're in the think of the Players Lounge at the British Open.
Yeah.
Is that nice?
Little place where all the food is, and it's dry right now because it's raining pretty good out there. I'm glad I'm inside.
Oh, it is raining.
Yeah, it is raining.
How far along are they in that next round? I get all messed up because of the time difference.
No, they're pretty far along. Calum's already finished. He shot 1 under, so he's 3 over for the tournament. The lead, I think, Lowry is on the course. I think he's only through 4 or 5 holes, and I think he's 1 under on the day, 8 under total. So,
wow.
Yeah, it's raining pretty good right now.
Now here's the deal. Obviously, he's not going to win the tournament, but there's a silver medal that's pretty darn prestigious for the low amateur. And that 1 under today's got to, because he was like 1 or 2 strokes up on that, wasn't he?
Right. I don't know how many he's up now, but I think it's 3 or 4 strokes on the last day.
Oh, man, that's so great, isn't it, Coach? Hey, I'm proud of your golf guys. My goodness.
Well, I appreciate it. They work hard. It's important to them. They work hard, and they're good kids and very coachable. So it's fun to be around them.
I've been away from the news for a while. The British Open is being held where this year?
It's at Troon.
Okay.
At Troon, and it's about an hour and a half away from, I think, the biggest cities that is close to is Glasgow. About an hour from Glasgow, and it's in Troon. They had it here. It's on their rotation. I think they had it in 2016 was the last time they had it here. So, yeah, it's a great golf course.
Okay, but that's near his hometown, isn't it?
Calum Scott.
He's more from to the north than Nairn. So I think he's probably about 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours north.
Okay. How much of an advantage is it, Coach, to, it seems like the guys that live over there, they're like a whole lot better than the guys that just showed up. Doesn't it?
Well, links golf is different. It's sand-based greens and sand-based golf course, which if you grow up on those turf conditions, you're used to that and how the ball bounces, and a little bit, just a little more acclimated to what links golf brings you in a certain round of golf, and so yeah, I think all those little small things.
Well, uneven lies and things like that a guy like Calum
a little bit
playing out at the Raws, you're pretty well used to uneven lies. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
It helps him. Calum's just his flag is like blue with a white X.
That's correct.
That's what it is.
That's correct.
All right. I was just seeing if you knew, Coach. Anyway, Ludvig, did he not make the cut? I was just
he did.
It's crazy. The guys that didn't make the cut, I'm going, these are like the greatest golfers in the world.
Well, a little different over there.
Yeah, well, Rory didn't make it either.
No.
Ludvig didn't make it, and there's several really good players that didn't make the cut. So it's it's hard. If you got off really late the first day, which the leaders, if you look at Shane Lowry, he played really late on day 1. The wind died down. So a lot of golf, a lot of British Open golf's about getting a good draw too. I'm not saying that's everything, but it's certainly when you've got a field like this and you get a little advantage on the weather whether it's wind or the rain, it can make a big difference.
It can be several strokes.
Making that cut. And Ludvig got the hardest wind both days at most all of his rounds. So Calum got to go a little early on day one. But we got 6 or 7 holes in before it blew pretty hard. So, you got a little bit of break, but you got to take advantage of it, So
well, did Ludvig stick around, or did he hook them? Are y'all hanging together? Or?
I saw him yesterday. He's out of here. So he's going to go rest up for the Olympics. And, he didn't stick around.
Okay. Well, who's the guy that you walking around out there coaching? Of course, Ludvig is about as impressive as anybody you'd want to meet, but you're over there walking with the stars of golf. And is there one guy that you just go that really impresses you the most that you like to see?
Well, I'm a homer, but I love watching my guy. He's an amateur and he's leading the field and driving.
Oh, I know it.
So he's a lot of fun to watch because he hits it so far. But it's nice to see some of these guys that Justin Thomas was out in front of him today and had a good round going. And, these guys are all good, and you've seen them, in college golf, and you get to see them again. A lot of them, not every one of them. Some of the international guys don't come to college, but it's nice to see some of those guys and how they're doing. It's everywhere you turn, there's a good player. That's for sure.
All right, you talk about Calum being long. Well, obviously Ludvig's long and accurate. Is that something we're doing out here at Tech? What do we do out here at Tech to enhance that, or is that just God-given?
Well, there's a little bit of this that's definitely God-given. Calum's a wiry guy, and he's filled in when he got to college. We have a good weight program, but he's just a fast twitch guy, and he was born with that. But he's enhanced that and gotten stronger and bigger, and it's maybe more to my recruiting and watching those guys and trying to recruit some guys with speed because we know how important that is to the game. But they've gotten better, and they know how to utilize their speed, and it's fun to watch.
Now, Gary had said something to me about the guy that's on the bag for Calum is one of your assistant coaches.
Yeah, so he's associate head coach, but
I was hoping I didn't make that up.
I know. He's just had more experience than I have playing professional golf, and he's clicked with Calum in a way that we felt like that might be better than me out there.
Now, what's his name again? Tell me again, Coach. You've told me before.
That's right. James Vargas is his name.
Yeah, and now is he the guy that's good friends with Sean O'Hare and?
Yeah, that's correct. They both played junior golf together.
Oh, yeah, okay. And Sean living in Lubbock again.
Yeah, he is. He sure is.
It's pretty. I think that Coach Vargas may be part of the reason. And we'll give you credit too. He loves it being here.
Well, it's good to have good players in town.
You bet.
Well, would Coach Vargas be a good guest for our show?
Of course, yeah. I think he'd be good. He's got a lot of experience out there and a lot of good stories and a lot of good scoop on different guys. He's got some good college stories, that's for sure.
Yeah. Okay. We'll ask you about those.
Good.
As Scheffler, really though, Calum Scott is just, if he's one down today, so he's 3 under for the tournament, and he's 8's leading. He's only 5 strokes off the lead, or is it higher than that?
Well, he's 3 over.
Oh, 3 over.
Yeah, 3 over.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's
got 100 today. He was 4 over starting the round.
Okay.
Yeah, he's even 4 over.
Yeah.
See, I'm looking at this -2. That was where he was, I guess, after 9. And he's 3 over for the tournament.
Well, that's a heck of a good round. So obviously it's a little bit better conditions today, other than the rain, I guess.
Yeah. The first, he got a good draw. A lot of those guys that went early, Justin Thomas shot, I think 4 under, but I think he got it to 6 under. If you played it, anywhere in the 8 to 10 a.m. or 9 to 11 a.m., you got a good draw. Those guys that just teed off an hour ago, they're going to play, 75% of their day in this rain. So it'll be hard to shoot some of the scores that were shot in that first part of the wave today. So it'll get a little more bunched, I think. I'd be shocked if Lowry doesn't drop a few coming in, and I bet 5 or 6 under leading by the end of the day.
All right. Now, are you such a golf fan that you will go out with your umbrella and galoshes and watch? Or are you going to stay in the lounge?
Watching TV.
Hey, now who's walking through that lounge right now? I mean, it's like, oh, look over there. There's old Tiger Woods. There's old Scotty Scheffler.
So Tom Morris.
I haven't seen Tiger in this lounge. I have seen him out on the range, but Scotty's been in here, and I mean, you depends on when you're teeing off. Ludvig, I just saw Ludvig's caddy walk by, but there's a lot of guys in here that are either done with their round or maybe they missed the cut and still hanging around until they get their flight out.
My goodness. Well, if you haven't ever played golf with Gary and I, Coach Sands, we're visiting with Greg Sands.
Well, he's seen us over.
He's seen us from a distance.
Tech golfers be playing on the other fairway, and we'll be up there hitting our balls.
What do you think we would shoot there, Coach, if we played it all legit?
In nice weather. What would we shoot?
Well, 120. The weather makes a big difference. If you get a calm day, the golf courses, it wouldn't be that difficult necessarily. But I mean, at the same time, you get it going sideways in the gorse. It's
gorse.
It can be tough. But it's with Stan Scarborough, and he's a good friend of mine, and Travis Funk, and they actually played here, I think, a couple of years ago, and they got a really good day. They couldn't play the back tees, but I think they shot around 73, 74, 75. So
Travis Funk was state champion in New Mexico.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all I'm saying is if you play the up tees, I mean, the open tees are there's a lot more yardage than what they let you play out
I
here.
got you. It'd be a different course we'd be playing pretty much.
But if you get a good day, it's not the most difficult. So much of links golf and the British Open golf really is about the weather.
Yeah. It looks to me like you can putt from like 30 yards out too, can't you? I like that wouldn't be a bad strategy for me and you, I bet. Now, I do know this. You cannot putt out of those traps there.
You can't.
No. Or
I couldn't get out of it.
Yeah.
I'd fall in, and then you couldn't get out.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, it's I know you're proud of Calum. That's amazing that he's competing so well and leading the amateur. Leading the amateur by about 3 strokes or 4 right now.
That's right. He's a leading amateur right now with 1 round to go. So that'd be a cool thing for him to hold on to that and get a silver medal. We've never had something like that happen. That'd be a great accomplishment.
And I'll tell you, they will probably show him tomorrow. Usually if you're 8 strokes out of the lead, they're not going to show you. But I think the battle for that silver medal, I think they'll probably show him some. And if not, is there a place we can go where we could just watch him more? They probably don't have a station where guys that are completely out of the tournament are on this channel right here.
Well, sometimes they do have the app where you can go and just watch featured groups, but I do think they'll have a little coverage because he is from his home country, and if he gets a low amateur, maybe at the end of his round he'll get a little more TV time. So we'll hope he plays well and finishes strong.
Hey, Greg, I want to tell you something. Gary and I both feel this way. That you said there's something, if he wins a silver medal, it'll be something that's never happened here at Texas Tech. Let me tell you, since you've been here, there's been a whole lot of things that have never happened before that have happened since you've got this golf program going, and we have the Rawls course, and we're proud of you and what you've done.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm it's been a labor of love, and there's been a lot of good kids that have worked awfully hard to get us here. So. Anyway, it's fun to have new firsts and do things that you never even thought about. So,
well, and I think you probably know this. Just keep getting those really good kids.
Do that. Tell Scotty that he could have been a Red Raider. Maybe we're not sure, but he maybe could have been a Red Raider.
It's funny. Speed's girlfriend was a Red Raider. I couldn't even get that done with his girlfriend.
I know it. That's exactly right.
So.
And back to that silver medal deal. Don't they present that just right out there in front of God and everybody?
Yeah, I think so.
Right before they present the
main one to the champion. That's correct. At least that's what they do at the Masters. I'm sure they'll do it here too. But
I hope so.
Yeah.
If we win it, if we don't win it, then I don't guess I care. But no, I hope they do for whoever wins it because that's
cool.
That's
that really
moment.
is.
And some of the all-time greats. Sports have won that award.
Sure.
I mean, some of the all-time greats. So, Anyway.
Well, have fun in the lounge, Coach, and I know you're enjoying your day. How fun is it to be over there for golf? That is so awesome.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun. Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
No, wait a minute. Don't go yet.
Nope.
And you can say this is none of your business, Gary, but what are you going to do the rest of the day over there? What's a day in the life of Greg Sands? What are you going to do tonight?
I'm not going to be here tomorrow. It's 5 o'clock right now, so I'm going to drive to Edinburgh. It's about a 2-hour drive. Get up early and catch a flight early, and I've got to get over to the U.S. Junior and recruit on Monday. So,
where's the U.S. Junior this year? Where is the U.S. Junior?
So it is in Oakland Hills. So it'll be flying to Detroit. But I think they've had a U.S. Open there before at Oakland Hills, and a Ryder Cup.
It's important because we had the U.S. Junior here at the Rawls one year, and you know who was there playing? Wyndham Clark.
Oh, Wyndham, that's right.
He was at that U.S. Junior at the Rawls course.
Oh, one of those AJGAs, yeah.
He was there. I went out and walked with him because I know the family, but he's kind of gotten to be good. But he didn't make the cut.
Even though my day's not exciting, driving on the left side of the road with the steering wheel on the right gets pretty exciting.
Better pay attention. Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's exciting in and of itself, for 2 hours. So.
Okay. Hey, enjoy the rest of your trip, and we'll see you when you get back. And good luck on the recruiting.
Thank you for your time, Coach. We appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Greg Sands. Well, he's done a great job. It's hard to believe how long he's been here now, 20-plus years.
Yeah.
Like Tom Stone.
Everything's hard to believe.
Look what they're building out there, though. All these coaches are building these great winning teams.
Good people.
They are.
You've been listening to the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3. Catch the show live Saturday mornings from 9 to noon on Double T 97.3 FM or on the Double T 97.3 mobile app.